I had 3 kids with a guy I barely knew.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video, it's a very interesting video and I'm super excited and just keep me flashing. So this video is for people we know will come here on this channel and we'll talk about relationship and how a lot of relationship don't work and how to we just go on and talk about relationship. But this one is a very different story time that will get you believing in love once again. So this video is a video of a woman who came to share the story about how she decided to have babies. She tried to have 3 children with somebody she barely know. So apparently she came on to share the story how she chose to have a baby. Like she went on the untraditional way of having a baby and having a partner. So she went on to the first step was to have a baby with this man that she barely knew. And eventually, both of them just eventually figure out how to have their life together, how to be a parent together, and end up falling in love and getting married and living their best life. This is such a weird story, and I need you guys to hear this story time because it got me all mushy and it got me all believing in love again. Okay? We all know relationship and love right now is out. It's in the street, but this just gives me a whole lot of faith. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this lady's story and even some of the backstory she gives us. Let's go check it out, then we'll come back and talk more.
I had 3 kids with a guy I barely knew. Story time. I'm Katie, and back in 2012, I went to a bar in Hollywood with a friend of mine. And the bartender that night was a little bit grumpy and he was not super personable, but my friend loved a good challenge and she wanted to figure out how to break open his shell and get him to be a little bit friendlier. I was really shy back then, so I didn't say much that night, and by the end of the night, she looked at me and she said, "This guy would be perfect for you. You should get his number." I was like, "No, he seems kind of mean." Long story short, she convinced us to exchange numbers, and I sent him a message inviting him to go hiking with me the next day with my mom and my brother. He said yes. The next day, we went on a hike, and during that time, I told him that the following week I would be moving across the country to Georgia. Obviously, he wasn't interested, and so we left it at that and became Facebook friends. Fast forward to 3 years later, I'm working at a salon, and after an event, we all go over to the bar next door to go hang out. Long story short, he was a bartender there, and we reconnected and decided to go on another hike. We were both ending relationships at the time, and so we were not interested in actually seeing each other or dating, but he was a really fun hiking buddy, and we really got along well. We were constantly bonding over all the things that we would want in a relationship that we weren't getting in our past relationships. And anytime he would say "I want this," I'd be like, "Me too, that's exactly what I'm looking for." We hike every once in a while for a few weeks. We end up ending our relationships, and then I have to go to a doctor appointment. At this doctor appointment, I learned that I had stage 4 endometriosis, and I was on the brink of infertility. And if I didn't have kids now, it would likely be never for me. Now, at this point, we had decided to very casually start dating. Very slowly, very casually. I was at a crossroads because I had to tell this guy what was going on in my life, but I didn't want to ask him to have a baby with me. So he was moving out of his apartment that weekend and I didn't want to stress him out. So I sent him a message and said, "Hey, I got some weird news at this doctor appointment and I think I need some time to process some stuff. So I'll see you after you move. Let me know when you're done." Pretty sure he was crapping himself. He ended up finishing his move and we went to go meet up at a local tea shop so I could tell him what was going on. Now, mind you, we had not been seeing each other very long and we were just barely getting to know each other. So we got some tea, we sat down, and I told him point blank everything that I was going through. My diagnosis, the fact that I had to have a baby now or never. I was expecting this guy to run for the hills, but something else happened. He looked at me and he said, "Well, how do you feel about me?" I was trying to keep things casual. So I responded with, well, I really like you. I think you're an amazing guy. I've loved getting to know you so far. Felt really awkward. He looked at me and said, well, I'm in love with you. And I've never met anyone in my entire life who is like you, and I am never going to meet anyone like you again. And so if keeping you in my life means that I need to have a baby right now, then let's have a baby. I was shocked and a little uneasy. I said, hey, that's wonderful. Can you take some time to think about it? And he said, absolutely not. When I decide something, I decide it, and that's it. So within a month of dating, we decided to have a baby together. I had to have a surgery to get some endometriosis scar tissue removed, and we were told that we could start trying afterwards. However, it would be a really challenging and difficult journey. I might have many miscarriages. It might be a long journey of infertility before we could finally actually get pregnant. We were like, great, that will give us some time to get to know each other. We can build a foundation of our relationship and figure out how we're gonna work this out together. Well, I had the surgery, and just a couple weeks later, I went and had a follow-up doctor appointment with the routine tests, and then I walked into the office and the doctor said, congratulations! And I was like, for what? And he said, you're pregnant. Now, long story short, I had a really rocky pregnancy. I started going into labor at 23 weeks, which is 5 months for those of you who aren't familiar with pregnancy. And then I ended up having a premature baby, and she was born at 7 months, 33 weeks. She was in the NICU for 22 days, which was really challenging. So at that point, by the time our first daughter was born, we had been together for not that long, and we were figuring out how to build a relationship at the same time. I don't know if you've tried to build a relationship while also parenting for the first time. It's not for the faint of heart. Fast forward to when our daughter is around 18 months, and I really want to have a second baby, and we end up getting pregnant again. This time, it was an ectopic pregnancy, meaning the pregnancy got stuck in my fallopian tube, and I ended up having to be rushed to the ER for abdominal bleeding and an emergency surgery so that I wouldn't lose my life. It took some time to heal from that, and about 7 months later, we conceived our next daughter. That pregnancy was pretty rocky as well. I was really sick, also went into preterm labor at 5 months, and delivered her at 35 weeks, so just a little bit longer. Now, we were also parenting our first daughter, still figuring out how to build a relationship with each other, trying and failing what felt like most of the time. And our second daughter was born, and a few weeks after that, everything came to a head. We were at a point in our relationship where we had to decide how we were going to make this work, because now we were parenting 2 kids together, and we were constantly choosing each other and trying to figure out how to get into the same stride and be a team. And we did it. We were doing so well. We were thriving. We were working on our relationship together. We were communicating. We were figuring everything out. And then I got pregnant again. This was our only unplanned pregnancy. Again, I was really sick. I had the exact same issues as I did my first 2 pregnancies, which I can get into that in another video. But this time, my son was born full term, and we were really happy about that. So now I am proud to say that 8 years later and 3 kids, we figured it out. We ended up getting married, and we have had the strongest relationship that we could have ever built together because of how our circumstances started out and the journey that we went on together to make this life happen. And I want this story to be an encouragement to anyone who might find themselves in a backward situation or a predicament that might seem a little bit out of order, because if you put 2 people together and both of you have the same common goal, if you work on that every single day and choose each other every single day, you'll make it happen. And that is the story about how I had 3 kids and built a beautiful life with a guy that I barely knew. Thanks for watching. So I just shared a video about how I had 3 kids with a guy that I barely knew, and it's been going viral, which is absolutely beyond me. But I wanted to answer this comment I want to dig a little bit deeper into another layer of the story that I didn't share at the first video. So, not only was the bar that he worked at right next door to my salon, and I'm talking right next door. You walked out of my building and you walked into the next building and that was the bar. But also in a different town down the road, I lived in an apartment and he worked at another bar right across the street from my apartment. So if you want to talk about a divine encounter orchestrated by God, it was like he put us in the same place right next to each other, and he was like, if you're not bound to run into each other here, you're definitely going to run into each other there. And we did. It was just crazy seeing all these different signs like, hey, you're supposed to meet back up again. Your story is not finished. And to keep the story going, we still have so many instances and situations in our lives together that just shows us again and again how unique our story is. And if you haven't seen our love story yet, you should definitely go watch it because it's a wild one. How I knew he was the one. My husband and I have a crazy origin story, and I'm going to tell you how I knew he was the one using a fire analogy. So many of my past relationships were like a wildfire. Wildfire relationships are ones that just rip through your life and just completely destroy different parts of you. They're unstable, they're roller coastery, and all around not very good. He was warm and safe and inviting and stable, comfy, cozy, a place that I wanted to sit and spend time in. When I met my husband, I realized that he was more like the fireplace in a cozy home. Now, when you're a person who's used to super toxic relationships, the warm fireplace relationship feels different, really different. At first, I didn't really know what to feel about it because I was so used to the exhilarating wildfire feeling of the ups and the downs in a relationship. But I knew ultimately I did not want to have a type of wildfire relationship in my life. I wanted the comforting one, the safe one, the one that made me feel whole and complete and like a better version of myself. So I learned to lean in and heal and get comfortable in that space that he created that allowed me to feel safe in. So if you are in a relationship and you want to find out if the person you're with is the one, ask yourself, are they the wildfire or are they the cozy fireplace? Thanks for watching.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we are allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go free, share your opinion, okay? Just be respectful as always, okay? I found this story very, very beautiful and unique and all that, and that's why I'm sharing it. It really put a big smile on my face. But this is like you know, we're always talking about, we're talking about relationship, faith relationship, and the truth is that most of us still want good relationship, healthy relationship, and all that. And I've said it here on this channel a couple of times that if only we humans can take out all the games, all the mind games, and be honest and direct with exactly what we want, express it, and also heal our past trauma so that we can be a better version of ourselves, so that you meet somebody, you communicate what you want. If it's aligned together, then you guys go on live together. That would be amazing. And I feel like this story just tells that, like, things does not have to go with the traditional way that society has made us believe that, oh, that is how love should feel, that is how it should be. No. I feel like when it comes to relationship, when it comes to love, when it comes to finding that person, it should be a place that makes you feel very comfortable, a place that makes you feel safe, a place that makes you feel heard, a place that makes you feel you're on a journey together with someone, rather than you're always fighting to get the person's attention, to get the person to hear you. I feel like in this lifetime, there are people for everybody. If only we can just be honest about our life. No, first off, heal our trauma, because a whole lot of us are being traumatized, which makes us to display a lot of toxic traits in our relationship and even in our lives. So I feel like if we can heal the trauma part of it and then be honest with what we want and who we are, the next person can see it and be honest and everything. We cannot see if we can go on this life journey together. And we all know, like I've said here on my channel, I believe that God did not make us as human to go life together the way we are all going life together by ourselves. There's a whole lot of loneliness. People are lonely. People rather being single than being in a relationship, because being in a relationship is a lot of mind games, a lot of toxicity, a lot of trauma that goes with being in a relationship. I feel like if as human we can just cut all that up and really like speak from the heart and be honest and be open, be vulnerable. The key part is be honest and heal our trauma. We will end up being in a beautiful relationship. I really love the story, and it just put a very big smile on my face. And I feel like everybody should experience love like this. Everybody should be in a relationship like this, that they feel safe, they feel heard, they feel loved. Like, not the rocket science that we're all in a relationship where it feels like, oh, gaslighting or manipulation, or no. This is such a beautiful story, and this just gives me a hope that, you know what, there are beautiful relationships out there, and people should not give up on love. But also, people should not give up on love. So yeah, so I would say you don't have to go the traditional way society as line it up for you. Do you be authentic to yourself, be honest with yourself, ask yourself what you really want, who you really are, get to know yourself, and then just let it flow. Just be yourself, be your authentic self, express your feelings. Those ones that say, oh, don't text him back. If you text him back, it shows you're desperate. If you let's cut all that. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Let's be who we are, and who will love us will love us. And I pray everybody that is still hoping and wishing for love finds love and finds it in a beautiful way that gives them peace, joy, and safety. Both sides, both the male, both the female version. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this beautiful conversation, this beautiful story. Go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. And let me know down in the comment section, will you have a child with somebody you barely know? Will you do that? It's really beautiful how they really figure it out. Like, it's so beautiful. And I feel like they were able to figure it out because they were both on the same life journey together. They wanted the same thing out of life. They wanted the same goal out of life. They were on a journey. They were on the same path. And that was why I feel like even though they were having kids, they were doing it in a not traditional way. They were able to figure it out because they were going to the same destination together. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we are allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So feel free to share your opinion. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead, feel free to share your opinion. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see. And that will be you supporting this channel and this girl. With that said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. When you do all this good stuff, when you comment, share this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are not subscribed. That helps this channel and that helps me. So go ahead and do those beautiful stuff. With that all said, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.